Chapter 4, we're talking about leaping now, although you'll notice that there are some other concepts included. Page 26, there's this very well-known example for early study of the Bach invention in C, the first invention. And it's my belief that this was intended, like all of his piano music, I mean, he said so, all of his piano music is meant to be used as teaching tools. He called it Klavierübung, which means piano practice. Of course, it wasn't just about acquiring piano technique, it was also about learning composition and music in general. Fortunately, today we only have to think about leaping. This is a basic 5-finger position, and I think Bach meant this as a teaching tool, teaching us how to get from the last note under the 5-finger position to another note in another hand position. So it's easy to see that these notes come right under the hand, 5-finger position. Notice that the thumb, as usual, is homeless, so I can come out a little bit after playing it and back in to play it to 5. Now the issue here is, how do I get from the 5th finger to the 4th finger on the C? Well, it's not this. This is literally 3 movements, up, over, and down, controlled at every point, whereas using rotation and pluck with a little bit of walking arm, it sounds like a lot of movements, but it's really only one. The pluck gets the distance, the rotation plays the note. Notice that the highest point is over the landing, and the landing is literally by means of gravity. So it isn't really controlled. That's why it feels like only one movement, even though the music is a little bit disconnected, and we want that as a musical effect, by the way. One approach to Baroque music is that when the music is disconnected, when there's a leap, it can be short. But that doesn't mean we feel disconnected. This rotation helps us to feel connected. Likewise, in the left hand, we're going to play a similar pattern, this time starting on the 4th finger, and it's the thumb that throws us rotationally so that I can play the next note. Now you might very well ask, why don't I rotate the other way? Well, if I want to repeat the thumb, there's no way to play it now except to fall on it. So, of course, other fingerings are possible, but the point of this exercise is to learn about leaps. Notice on page 28 we have an example from the Chopin Ballade in G minor, where we have leaps that are coordinated in 2 hands. If you look at the right hand, you'll see that I've moved the grouping over 1 full quarter to help us accommodate the heavy chord in the left hand, which is the beginning of the group. So in the right hand we have, and then the new group starts. Now here we have a leap from the thumb, but it's only an octave, so that doesn't really feel like much of a leap, but there's a little bit of a pluck in the thumb that throws me up here, where I start over again, new group. Now notice how the left hand, the single note in the left hand always propels me to land on the heavier chord. But I'm going to think of starting on the chord. So I'm going to omit this first E flat for our purposes. Heavy, light, light, heavy. So this B flat has thrown me, and I really practice so that I can land in between these mountains. Land. So from the single note, I'm always landing on the chord heavy to light. So when I put the hands together, I feel the grouping like this. New group, new group, and so on. Now notice on page 29, another example from the G minor ballade. We're going to use, again, groupings, and this feels very nice because we have accent on the second beat, accent on the third beat, accent on the fourth beat, accent on the next downbeat. Now each time, this is a little bit of a leap from here. By the way, here's a tip. Don't cling to the whole chord. Feel on the second finger is a hinge. So that second finger takes me to the A. I feel like I'm doing this instead of feeling open like this. So it's land on the next one. So these are small leaps, just back to the starting place. The left hand has most of the leaping. I group from heavier to lighter, landing back on the next starting note. So make sure that when you really use that note to propel you back, it's like a pluck, pluck, and land. Now when we put the hands together, we feel downs on the chords. Down,